All right, how about now?
Are we good? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now?
Like a few seconds before they catch up.
Can you hear us? How about
Oh, you hear
you
us?
can hear us
We
now?
good?
Good now.
Okay. Jeez.
An inspector
That
said, "Should we test it out?" And I was like, "No, it's fine." No, it's all my
OBS restarted.
it's all my fault. My computer needs to update, so I restarted it after Wednesday's stream, and so I had to fix the Discord audio, and then I forgot about that OBS resets as well. My computer loves to reset all my settings whenever it restarts.
You need a new computer.
No, this was my baby. This is my first gaming computer. We're not. Can't.
You're not ready to let the bird fly out of the
No.
nest.
We've had good times. Steve, hello. Pelican7 standing by. And now able to hear. Glad. I'm glad. All right. So, anyway.
So-
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Nothing Nerdy. I'm
Really?
back. I'm back with the Inspector who reacts. Hello, Inspector.
Hello again. Hello. Excited to talk about this movie. Excited to hear what Nerdy thinks of this movie.
Wait, what do you mean, wait a minute? Frank, what?
I think he's messing with us. He better be messing with us.
Are you going to ask me? I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to say it. I couldn't get it out fast enough. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you
Is the computer okay?
Is everybody okay?
Is your like vision machine okay?
For those who don't know the joke, one of the things that drove me crazy in Endgame was the one before
Infinity War, the one before
in
it.
Infinity War was Wanda. I felt like obviously her story with Vision is very sad. Is the audio okay? That's right. But I felt like she was very dramatic. She's a great actress, a great character. It's not that I don't like her. I just felt like it was very like dramatic. Every 5 seconds, I felt like her and Vision were just catching each other. Are you okay? Oh my God, are you okay? So that's where the joke comes from. Anyway, okay, so
Speaking of Vision, this movie kind of opens with the memorial, little like the memorial video.
yeah, the what do you call it? Cheap, cheesy little high school memorial video. Um,
Yeah.
that was cute. I wasn't sure we were watching it first, and then you find out that they were doing a memorial video. So yeah, I liked how this movie, obviously it took place after Endgame, and in Marvel everything connects, so it's not like they pretended like that didn't happen. It's not like they weren't going to touch on it. So they were remembering all the Avengers, and throughout the movie, I liked how Peter had this like internal struggle going on, like he was still mourning Iron Man, and he felt this pressure to kind of live up to be like him, to be as good as he was.
Yeah, because we've actually like lost like 4 of our Avengers. We've lost Cap, we've lost Tony, we've lost Natasha.
You know what? It's so funny. That confused me initially when they were doing the montage or whatever, and they showed Captain America, and I was like, Captain America didn't die, and it's like, oh right, I forgot. Like he left and didn't come back. But
I think they did say that he did pass on in between the 8 months between Endgame and this movie.
Okay.
So he is technically now dead.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't realize that. They can't explain his disappearance.
That too. They like whether or not, we'll see.
Yeah. So one of the things that surprised me in this movie was, here I was actually thinking in this movie, oh, maybe that girl that Peter liked in the last movie, like maybe she was going to move back, maybe she was going to visit, or they were going to reconnect somehow.
Yeah, I remember in Homecoming, you were like, I like her. I want her back.
Yeah, I thought they were adorable. But surprise, he likes MJ. And I was like, I was so caught off guard at first. I was like, but we all loved her in that movie. She was the other movie. She was hilarious. But she wasn't a big part of the movie, and she totally seemed like the polar opposite of him. Like, so in the beginning, I was like, wait a minute, is that who he's talking about? Because she like comes over, she comes over to
Mhm.
them, or
Yeah.
because I couldn't remember who MJ was when he was like
Hmm.
talking about her. So yeah, so I was like really confused about that. But I loved how in this movie, obviously we get to see more of her, and we get to learn more about her, and even she evolves in this movie, which I liked.
Hmm.
So
This it's such a cute relationship,
it
honestly.
is. They are because they're both like kind of awkward in their
Hmm.
own ways, and in comics, MJ is one of his main interests. Oh, so you all knew this in the last movie?
Yeah, actually MJ is the name of Peter Parker's girlfriend in the comics, but we didn't know that that was MJ in the like because
She.
she went by Michelle the whole time until like the very end where she says her name's MJ. So we're like, oh, and then this movie they kind of they make that relationship
Oh,
happen.
got
Another
you.
thing, another thing, I actually looked this up today because it never occurred to me until just now. I think Liz didn't get snapped, so she's 5 years older than Peter now.
Liz is the girl from the last movie.
Yeah, Liz from the girl from the last movie. So she didn't get snapped. So she's like I think 5 years older.
Oh, so
It's
that would be
not.
that would be awkward. Well, because he's
Yeah.
under
So
18. Can get
it's
complicated.
yeah that's kind of the interesting thing. Like they said, like the Hey Dress is like there's some characters who came back and they're still the same age, and there's characters who have grown up,
Yeah,
like because they didn't stop aging. They didn't just come back to when they were.
that's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
Ned. Oh my gosh, Ned. I'm so glad he was back in this movie. He's just like I think he's like one of my I should rank the sidekicks when we do the ranking. Ned and the guy from Ant-Man. I can't remember his name. The guy with the van. My
Oh, Louise.
Louise, yeah, my two favorite sidekicks. European Slav Americans. He was so funny.
That oh man, that joke even then was like, yeah.
um, but yeah, I thought it was kind of cute. Ned got his own love interest in this movie for a hot
That side story was so funny.
for a hot minute. Like I love how like after like one play right, they're like, babe, 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 babe. So they were funny.
I was,
I went on a school trip to Europe in high school. Was there for a month. This movie.
I was gonna say like you liked the high school theme of the homecoming. I was like, how are you gonna enjoy the like kind of field trip theme of this movie?
I had anxiety. I mean, I don't know. I guess trips aren't my thing. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, so any field trip, any like traveling Hallmark movies are not your thing.
Traveling Hallmark movies, I'm good with. I don't know why. I don't know why it put me on edge in this movie. I was also kind of like, I don't know. I mean, my high school didn't do things like that, like trips abroad. So I think that's nuts. Like,
Hmm.
you know, especially like, what you leave two adults in charge of a whole bunch of kids, like who have a mind of their own, and they're gonna go off and do it.
Yeah.
Hell no. Even like as a parent, I wouldn't send my kid to do that.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Traveling is stressful. I get stressed out just traveling to the store, so I couldn't handle like a 9 hour plane ride, whatever it was. Um,
Yeah. I do think that the kids had to pay for the trip, so it wasn't like the school
right, right.
was doing it. So I think whoever that could pay for it was responsible enough to go on board the thing.
Unless their parents paid for it.
Yeah.
Memories.
Yeah, that too. Parents pay for it, kids pay for it, whatever the money
Sell
comes from.
candy
But I don't
bars.
think the school does it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure.
In fact, there's a deleted scene where Peter had to sell all his Star Wars toys to get the money for the trip.
Oh, that's sad.
Except he kept Lobot.
Oh.
He was like, no, I gotta keep that one.
Aw. Um, they were probably like, "Hey, you were dead for 5 years. Here's your vacation." That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ned and his girlfriend, they were an unlikely pair. But yeah, they ended up sitting next to each other for the plane ride, and by the end of it, they were a couple. Uh,
I I do love how this movie is like it's almost cliche, but it's well done. Where Peter's like trying to get with MJ, but everything keeps like dividing him. It's like
I
he's like trying to
know.
sit next to her, and he's like, "All right, nope, you're gonna sit next to me, and he's gonna sit next to her." And like, she over there, and it's like then she sits next to like his rival, like the
Hmm.
boy guy that wants to get with MJ too. It's just like it's like Peter's just poor.
Yeah, Ned tried so hard to coordinate things for him, like on that plane or whatever, and it just didn't go work out. But yeah, like I felt so bad, I felt like so frustrated for him, like throughout the movie. Like yeah, he's trying to like do all these little things, and then there's that other guy who keeps getting in the way. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
He likes MJ, and he knows Peter likes her, so he's constantly
Yeah.
trying to like sabotage him or get next to MJ, and things like throughout most of the movie seem to be working in his favor.
Yeah.
That
And
scene. Oh no, sorry, go ahead.
okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say that scene where they stop somewhere or whatever, and Peter
Oh,
is told to go into like I don't remember what it was. He gets a message to go into like the bathroom or whatever to meet someone, and there's this girl there, and she hands him like a suit, and she's like, "Take off your clothes right now," and he's like
just
really
get
super.
suited up.
He's like super uncomfortable. But so he takes his pants down to get changed into the costume, and all of a sudden that guy walks in
Yeah.
and snaps the photo.
Yeah.
Um,
Which leads to a very awkward scene and a very intense scene with the drone.
hmm So Peter, um, so Iron Man left him these glasses that it's kind of like this high tech glasses, and
Yeah, Nick Fury
it's like a
gives them to
computer.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Uneasy lies the head that wears like the crown, something that's not a Star Wars reference.
yeah. um, and yeah, so they were like these. It was like a mini computer. Anyway, he was able to hack into the guy's phone, delete the photo. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyways, well, when he was trying to figure that out, he
Yeah,
accidentally, um, I guess
sends it.
he like says the wrong thing, and he's like, yeah, Edith, he's the target. Go after
Take him out.
yeah, and then these drones from outer space come and are about to
Yeah.
take him out, and he has to jump out of the bus and distract everyone and get rid of the drone.
Okay. So you're not familiar with Spider-Man stuff per se. You've only seen like the first movie and
Right.
Homecoming.
Yeah.
So what did you think? Did you think Mysterio was a good guy going in?
Yes, I did. So I was surprised. Now, I remember like Mysterio is a name that I've heard
Mhm.
over the years. But I didn't know who he was or anything about him. So I recognized the name, but I thought he was a superhero.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he's one of Spider-Man's villains. So most of us knew going in that he was a villain, but I'm actually curious for the people who didn't know.
yeah,
Like that.
that was a blind side. Um, I thought it was really cool because I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, we're going to have new Avengers. Like, the new team is being built here. And I like it. He's kind of like, this guy's like kind of like a role model for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then, so like they're meeting in the bar after they save the day or whatever. They get rid of the elementals, allegedly.
Yeah.
And, so Spider-Man realizes, oh, you know what? I think Iron Man wanted me to give you these glasses. Like, I think he wanted me to do, um, to trust them to someone else or whatever. And so he's like, I think it's the right thing to do. I trust you with these. They're yours. And Spider-Man feels really good about what he just did, and he left. And then and then it like kind of fades. Everything starts
The
to
illusion
fade.
fades away.
And I was like, it took me a minute to realize what was going on. I was like, wait a minute. At first, I thought he didn't know what was going on. Mysterious or Mysterio? Mysterio?
Uh-oh.
Are we for what?
Ready? Oh no.
Oh, come on.
Wait, okay, I hear you. I see you back.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, don't tell me the stream went out. I was like,
Wh-
okay, you were frozen too, yeah.
Yeah.
The scenes where they celebrate and go through the scenes telling where everyone is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so at first I thought Mysterio didn't know what was going on. Like I thought he was duped too. Like when
Yeah.
everything started changing, and then I realized he was in on it, and I was like, oh. And yeah, and I thought it was then like the scene where they explained what was going on and like how how Tony had made all these enemies over the years and who they were and why
Yeah.
they were all ganging up together, work together to you know to.
Sorry, somebody.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's somebody else.
You're coughing.
I was like, is there somebody else in the room? I thought that was really interesting, kind of cool. So.
Yeah. Honestly, like I said, like me going in though, I knew Mysterio was Spider-Man's villain, but they did it so well that I actually thought, are they changing? Like, is he not going to be a villain in this movie or something? Like, I literally bought into it.
We're not alone. William was the one cameo that shocked me. No, which one was William? I don't know.
I guess he was the guy from Iron Man 1, wasn't he? I think. But
I don't remember.
But yeah, that was so interesting is how they brought like back at Civil War I made the joke that when Tony was talking about the technology, like he named it Barf. It's like, yeah, somebody's gonna be mad about that, I think. And then like we come to this movie for you. It's just like, oh yeah, somebody was mad about that.
Makes sense. They did change the Skrull. They are bad guys in comics.
That is true, yeah. They did change some things, so yeah, I was a little uncertain what they were gonna do with Mysterio because honestly, Mysterio was really well. He was like really the first half of him was like really good at being good.
Yeah.
He seemed heroic.
I bought the whole thing. Nebula's worth in the movies. I mean in the books. Comics. Sorry, I can't even whatever they are. But yeah, so I thought this was really interesting. And it's something it's like a storyline or like a plot idea that like you've seen in like other like movies or TV shows, like kind of like when all the ex-girlfriends get together and they want to take out, the guy that wronged them all, kind of thing. That's what it reminded me of. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
But yeah, let's see. So yeah, there's like the movie begins with the whole elementals thing, and I was like, which I think is something that is in the comics. These elemental beings, and so yeah, that was kind of the building block to basically, I guess, believe okay, this is the real bad guy, and then of course there's Mysterio, but is he the real bad guy? Like we're all uncertain who, and of course, how do these illusions work? Like how are these illusions pulled off?
Yeah.
And we find out, it's the hologram tech.
No, what confused me about this? Okay, so when we realized it was all a hologram, if it was all a hologram, then wouldn't have the very beginning of the movie when we're seeing all this destruction, wouldn't everything have actually like not have destructed, like not have buildings fallen down? Wouldn't none of that have happened?
The machines, the drones, robots are still like destroying things, but the illusion is making it look like it's not gunshots or like bullets or any other technology. It's looking like whatever elementals attacking.
So there's still destruction. It's just not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It appears like it's the elemental, not the drone.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, and that reminds me of my other question. Okay, so all these people who are on, this team, like, they all hate Tony, they're taking their revenge or whatever. Was that in the comics?
I don't think so. I think this is, no, because Mysterio usually does this on his own, and he's actually, that's kind of that's, in the comics, Mysterio is like an actor, or a failing actor, and he knows special effects, so that's how he's able to come up with all the technology to fight Spider-Man.
So that aspect of it too, the effects or whatever, is from the comics as well. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Um.
Also, the fishbowl helmet. Yeah, that was also a comic book
Oh, okay.
accurate.
When we saw that, I was like, well, that's kind of weird. But I was like, okay. It
Yeah.
looked like it reminded me of like an 80s superhero or something. Like there was this, I thought that looked weird. Um,
hmm
but
Yeah. He does come from like that '70s era
yeah.
of comic villains, which. But honestly, I do love how the MCU is being accurate to
Hmm.
like designs and everything. Like when we saw, I think we saw like some behind the scenes photos when this movie was being made, and we were like, we saw Jake Gyllenhaal, and we were like, we don't see the fishbowl helmet. We're like, we gotta have the fishbowl helmet, right? We're gonna have Mysterio, we're gonna have the fishbowl helmet, and it's like, oh, thankfully he does have the helmet.
That's interesting. Um, he liked the helmet, you would wear it. I don't know. How about like even like his costume? Was that like the rest of his costume? Was that like true to the comic?
Like the green and the cape,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all there too.
I love how with the final battle, so like he's like controlling everything or whatever, but he's got like his people behind the scenes, and like
Mhm.
with everything going wrong, telling people to change their plans or whatever. The one thing he kept making sure was that the girl was like ironing his cape. Like the cape has to be just right. Forget everything else, but
Yeah,
the cape.
I still need the cape.
Are you still working
Yeah,
on it?
it really kind of shows like when you start off, he seems very confident, very well mannered and
Hmm.
everything, and then the other half, it shows the deranged kind of paranoid person he is,
Yeah, he's a little nutty.
like that,
Might be
and
pain.
yeah, um, but I also like in a way they kind of modernized his outfit with the when the illusion's not there, he's got a mocap suit on and like the little kind of like this bubble
Hmm.
head to show him like this kind of VR or whatever he's
Yeah.
seeing.
The unhinged. Yeah.
Yeah.
The effects that scene where like he's like faces off with Spider-Man for the first time, and
Oh
Spider-Man's kind of
yes.
like on this ever never ending loop of um whatever it is. Why can't I think what it's called? Like the projections, like
Yeah.
so he's like everything's like an illusion, and he's going from one
Mhm.
thing to the next, and like that was like psychedelic. That was
Yeah. It-
um
yeah. That's like ripped out of some of like that's like ripped out of like Mysterio's kind of. Like when he like messes with Spider-Man, that's kind of like stuff where he completely just disorientates him with all the illusions of reality and everything completely. It's basically like he's like Doctor Strange with CGI is the
mm.
same.
That's what it reminded me of a little bit. In the Doctor Strange movie when the woman, whatever she was,
Oh yeah, all the hippy dippy.
the hippy dippy girl gets all hippy dippy on him and shows him all this crazy stuff, and then like he's kind of like thrown back into reality. Um, Next step from virtual reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it kept making me think of. I was like, wow, can you imagine once virtual reality gets to that point where you can literally just like walk around a room and
Yeah.
um actually like see it. But
Yeah.
and well yeah well so at one point he calls Happy, after all this craziness,
Yeah.
fighting or whatever, and Happy comes in helicopter to save him because he's like out in the middle of nowhere, to Tulip Field or whatever it was,
Mhm.
and he like, because of what he just experienced, Peter's like, just like tell me something that only you would know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Peter's like completely like on edge. He's paranoid as all heck, and he's just like,
Yeah.
I need confirmation.
He was like, well, when we put you in the hotel room, and you rented a video, and we could tell from the bill that it was an adult video or whatever. And he was like, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Okay, it was you. It's you. It's you.
Um, and
Um,
I liked the moments between Happy and Peter.
mhm.
Because they both end up kind of um, bonding. I think over
Tony.
Tony's death. They're
Yeah.
they're both still mourning him, and Happy's trying to give him some like advice. Is everything okay over there?
It's a try. There's like a car driving by real
Oh.
fast. There's a lot of things going on today.
I
There's
know.
a plane just a second ago.
Usually it's me with the craziness over here. Um,
Um,
look, I didn't mean to rent that video.
I would. Oh yeah, you go ahead.
What was I gonna say? Um, yeah, so like I like the scene between them like on the plane. I think like
Yeah, where
happy.
he says like, "You're not Iron Man. You're never gonna be Iron Man. But we like Tony trusted you.
Yeah,
So what do you like?" It's a really great, uplifting, encouraging moment and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And I love Happy's little side story with Aunt May.
I was gonna say, oh my gosh, like that made me so happy because they were so cute together. Um,
Like I remember like there's that one part where like Happy's on the phone with Aunt May like kind of like she's like, and it's like this really awkward conversation, and she like blows him this little kiss, and it's just like, oh, I was like, whoa, are they really going? And then like there was like a couple of girls in the theater, and they were like whooping a little like, woo. It's just
Aww.
like, and then at the end of the movie where it's like, are you dating? It's like, yes, no, and it's just like,
When he sits the two of them down, oh my gosh. They're both on two completely different pages. Like, so here he is trying to, like, confront them and figure out, like, okay, what exactly is
yeah,
going on here? And then he's like, wait a minute. They need to talk. They
yeah,
don't even know what's going on. Yeah, so he
yeah.
was taking it, like, all serious. And she was like, no, it's just a fling, we'll always be
It's like summer
friends.
fling.
And I was like,
Yeah,
poor Happy. Like, listen.
yeah, and yeah, the same like girls, they were like, they like, yeah, they were like so like disappointed and shocked, just like, and I was like, oh man, I was like, I don't, Aunt May, you're good, like, don't do this to
I
Happy.
know. Happy's such a good man, and he's been through so much, and he was always so loyal to Tony and to all the Avengers, and he's a good man, and like here he is, he finally puts himself out there, makes himself
Even like,
vulnerable, and here this girl's just like, yeah, it's just a fling. They made me a little mad, made me a little mad.
yeah, oh yeah, and the song, the AC/DC song that the Happy plays when Spider-Man puts on a suit, he mistakes for Led Zeppelin.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I remember the scene with the song, but I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, yeah, Back in Black that plays when that's actually the very first song in the very first Iron Man movie. It's the first scene when they the little convoy,
Uh-huh.
military convoy.
Oh.
So in a way, I feel like honestly, like I think even though like Spider-Man is part of this movie's part of Phase 3, I feel like this is like the beginning of Phase 4. Like it's the end of Phase 3, the beginning of Phase 4.
Okay.
I look at it that way. Like the new era, the new page is turned.
Mm-hmm. Um, I feel like this guy has had as just as many suits as Iron Man has, and I don't understand that. I feel like he's always getting a new suit, and like it's kind of starting to like irk me a little bit. Like just pick a suit and own it. Like I don't. I try to listen. I try to roll with the punches, but this is like getting a little ridiculous. Like I don't.
He's got the
I don't get it.
he's got the tech for it now, so he's like, okay, I need something. And plus, it does get beat up a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's a little weird because nobody. I mean, the suits change for a
yeah,
purpose, but yeah, I see what you mean.
yeah. He does have a lot. Yeah,
I just feel like, I mean, I guess this is one of the liberties that like the Marvel movies have done, like because I'm sure that didn't happen in the comics. Um, but I just felt like I just feel like I feel like every movie he gets like one or two new suits. I mean, they're awesome. I think they're really cool.
yeah.
Like they keep
Well,
improving. Um,
he gets a stealth suit from Shield or well, like somebody they give him a stealth suit, which is from the comics, but it's made by him, whereas these guys made it for him, and
mhm.
you didn't even want to wear it.
Yeah. Um, Spider-Man in the comics is not nearly suit centric. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, um, when he has the
Night Monkey outfit,
yeah, what is he called?
like
The,
accurate or
no,
something.
no, no. Like, what was the lie? Who did
Night
it?
Monkey.
Night Monkey. That's what it was. Um, and people bought it. That was funny. He's like the European version of Spider-Man, you know?
And then it just like spreads all over. It's like Night Monkey. Um. Oh yeah, that is honestly one of my favorite scenes. Is when they actually. So there was like. So when Spider-Man, like this movie came out, and then like I think like a month or two later, Spider-Man was. There was the deal with Sony where they were gonna pull Spider-Man out of the MCU,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, but after that cliffhanger, we were like, we can't lose Spider-Man now. We just got this cliffhanger as
Oh.
such. And then we were like, okay, wait, maybe they can change his name. Maybe he can be called Night Monkey now,
Oh
and he can be
God.
Iron Spider or something. They can give him a different name, and
Iron
we can't.
Spider. I like that.
But, yeah, it's like legally Sony doesn't own those names, so maybe we can keep this sort of Spider-Man here. So there was a little bit of like, maybe we can get away with it. Luckily, we have Spider-Man back, so we're fine. And now we're getting, now they're actually filming the third Spider-Man movie
Yeah,
soon.
I keep I get my headlines from Google, and I've been seeing like a lot of talk about the new movie, and apparently like the old Spider-Mans are going to be in it, or allegedly going to be in it.
That's a theory I've heard. I've
That's the
not been
theory.
confirmed
Okay.
yet.
Okay. Is there anything you didn't look through the stress? Losing Spidey in MCU was the worst.
Yeah.
I can only imagine like, with all the ups and downs in Star Wars. So,
Yeah.
will we get a Kenobi movie? Will we not get a Kenobi movie? Oh, by the way, we haven't started filming yet, but we'll start filming in March.
That was
a whole year after that.
Well, it's like Black Widow's been like delayed a whole year since it was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
Like I think the movie's done, so it's like now we're just waiting for it.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. Even I'm getting anxious about waiting for it. They made an announcement today. They start filming in March 2021. Okay.
But yeah, one of my favorite scenes is the scene where, because again, Peter's like been trying to get with MJ, and I love that one where they're in the opera.
Oh.
Like it's kind of weird. It's like the whole. There's like two sides of the movie. There's the superhero side, and then there's the romantic traveling side.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love both. But I love that the one where he's like they really do a good job of being awkward, like realistically awkward with each other.
It's very believable.
Yeah. And then like where he says like, "You look pretty," and she's like, "Therefore I have value." And it's just like no. And it's like it's okay. You look pretty too.
Yeah, they're cute.
And then they're on the bridge, and like he's about to like confess his love or something, and she just says, "You're Spider-Man."
Yeah.
Like he's completely like that caught me off guard. I was like, "Well, wait, oh, okay, this is not the confession I was ready for."
Yeah, I had a feeling she was getting suspicious, but I didn't think the confessional was gonna happen then and there. Because we women, we know everything. We always know when you men are lying.
It's like no, see that like the news never lies.
Yeah. That's not me. 67% sure. I like how specific her percentage was. Like not 100% sure, 67%.
Yeah, and as soon as he finds out like Mysterio's a fake and the whole hologram tank, and he's like, "I am Spider-Man, and I made a mistake." Like he's like, "Okay, I need your help."
Yep. I was glad he finally came clean about it, because that was like one of the things that frustrated me in the last movie with like the girl that he liked and everything kept going wrong. It was like, just tell her who you are. But he finally did in this movie. So, and I liked how we saw what a tough, strong woman she was, and she wanted to help, and she held her own, and you are now an FOS, a friend of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
As Ned calls them.
I did. Oh man. And I'm gonna be like, I feel like not a lot of people agree with this. I mean, that's understandable. But for me, I think this is my favorite live-action Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I like what I guess when the new Spider-Man movie is on the horizon, we can do like we can maybe you can see the other Spider-Man movies and we could do a ranking of them,
Mm-hmm.
like the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield ones.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this one's probably my favorite live action, mostly because I think of the creative action final battle that it has.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the most like intense and creative I've ever seen Spider-Man in a fight. Most of the other ones are a little more simpler than that. Than this.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one I like better. I mean, I guess I would probably pick this one. I really liked the last one, but this one was really good because it had like, it had the same feel as the other one, but it had so much more.
Yeah, I feel like there was more growth with Peter in this one, whereas in the last one he was more just struggling with high school and everything.
Yeah, and it has that whole element of again being in mourning Tony and
yeah.
Even though Spider-Man has found himself, he kind of has to find himself again, without now that Tony's gone, finding his place again. So yeah, it was good.
And then we get that scene of ghosting Nick Fury. Like you do not ghost Nick Fury.
Yeah, that whole scene in the beginning, where like Nick is trying to call Spider-Man and Spider-Man's like I can't deal with this right now, and Happy's like, no, you don't ghost Nick Fury, you don't do that. So he's like, you answer. And he's like, Happy's like, I don't want to answer.
I'm scared of him, okay?
Even I was like, oh my gosh, like you don't do that. Like,
and then
he's gonna get in trouble.
And then we cut to like Europe and Nick like tranquilizes Ned. And he's just like, I used to know everything, and now a high school student is dodging my calls. Just that. And then, of course, he gets interrupted when he's doing the whole information and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like, hey, another person knocks on that door and you and I are going to attend another funeral.
Yeah, literally every 2 seconds someone else is knocking on the door. Yes. Not really Nick Fury.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing is like, this whole movie I kind of felt like, Nick Fury seems a little off. Like, I mean, he seems like he's been a little tougher, but at the same time he seems a little
lax.
Off. Like, there was something off about Nick Fury in this movie. And then, of course, at the very end of the movie, we get the answer.
Yeah, and again, it was another one of those scenes where, like, it kind of took me a second to realize what was going on. So, like, they're in the car, and first you see her mutate, or whatever. And I was like, oh, is that who she really is? Like, I thought maybe she was, like, and then he changed, and I was like, wait a minute. So now, if I remember correctly, are these the two from Captain Marvel?
Yeah, those are, I think, the same ones from Captain Marvel, Talos and his wife, I believe.
Okay. So then, and then it took me another second to realize what was really going on, because then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Were they, so, like, Nick Fury had nothing to do with this, so were they trying to trick Spider-Man? And then I was trying to, like, process it in my head, like, well, okay, why did they do all this? What was really going on? Were they trying to kill Spider-Man or help him? Like, I couldn't figure it out. And then we see Nick Fury in
space.
In space, yeah, with his like projection beach and on vacation, and he's walking around the space station, no shoes, and
forgot my shoes.
I knew something was off with Fury when it was announced that he was working with Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I love what Taylor says is like, yeah, the whole like illusion thing. This is just embarrassing for a shapeshifter.
Oh.
And honestly, and for me, I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what Nick Fury in space means, so I'm curious about that. Like,
I was thinking about that too. Like, how did he get there? Like, what?
And well, it has something to do with the Skrulls but like Nick Fury he's needed in space, but he needs to have himself on Earth. So I guess he made a deal with Talos to take his place while he helps. That's all I got. That's all I can think of. But yeah, I'm curious, like, so what's he up to? What's going on?
I love how we're finally, like, on the same cliffhanger. Like, I've been going through all these cliffhangers on my own, and you guys all knew what happened. And now, for the first time, none of us know.
Now you are 100% caught up.
Yep. Um,
Yeah, that's true. There's other like big villains out there.
um, true. Probably he's starting Sword. That's cute.
Um, yeah, and oh yeah, so okay. So in the final battle, we get a lot of great moments where Spider-Man has, again, he's being creative, so he has to like make a hammer and a shield with the little like stuff. And when he goes to fight Beck, but Beck, he's in the hall, he's in this like hallway, and the whole illusion thing happens. So can I just say this is the best example of Jedi having like force powers, being able to see without looking.
Oh, yeah.
That whole scene where he's like in this hallway and he's fighting the drones that he can't see. It is one of the best scenes of Spidey sense and anything I've ever seen before.
That scene was really cool. Like he like really, well, he thought about what his aunt said, but he really like adapted and he just went for it. Spidey sense.
And yeah, it is really great because it's like usually when like Spidey sense or other kind of superpowers happen, we can kind of see what the person can't see. This is where we can't see what they can see or something like that.
Yeah.
And and I do at the very beginning. It's like she hits him with a banana. She's like,
"You didn't see that coming? I thought you had the Spidey sense, Peter Tingle, whatever it was."
It's like, don't call it my tingle. Don't call it Peter Tingle. But yeah, so basically it's like people who are not threatening to him, he doesn't sense. He doesn't have to worry about. So that's when something like could get him.
Yeah.
Whereas people who are threatening or threats to him is like, okay, that I can sense. That I can be worried about.
And then we get the there's the other, what is it, the mid-credit scene or the end credit scene? I don't remember which it was.
Yeah, the mid-credit scene, but yeah, which is when Peter's talking to Beck and Beck's dying, sort of thing. Well, no, I'm going back to when that scene happens, but it's like when Beck's dying.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, did I miss a scene? I was like,
yeah, no. The mid credits is about that, but I'm going to that moment. It's like where it's like that moment where Beck's dying and he's it looks like he's handing the glasses to Peter, but Peter senses him next to him, which caught me. Again, this movie does a really great at catching me off guard. With the illusions.
I didn't see that coming either, and yeah, it turns out he was right next to him.
Yeah, but when Peter orders the drones to leave, Beck uses that against him to, in the mid-credit scene, frame Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was like kind of blown away by that. I was like, I guess like I was trying to figure out like what happened. Did the people on his team edit that to do that? Like, did he I guess like he sent them because he's really dead, isn't he? So he must have like sent. We don't know.
I don't know. Actually, he could be dead. He could not be dead. It could have been a trick.
So I was gonna say, like, did he was this part of his plan? Like, if he didn't make it, send them those videos to his team, and they edit it and put it together. But
yeah.
So now everyone's gonna hate him.
Yeah. So yeah, I have no clue. I'm kind. Part of me kind of hopes he's not dead because he's such a good villain, and I would like to see because there is this kind of thing. There's a point where like a lot of Spider-Man's villains band together to fight Spider-Man, and Mysterio is one of them. So I would like to see that play out. And so maybe he's still alive, or he is dead, but the illusion can still be played out of him alive, or something.
Yeah.
He outs Peter Parker as he completely outs his identity.
I can't wait to see like the reactions of like his friends, like the kids at his school,
Yeah.
like especially that one punk who's like,
Oh yeah, that guy.
who hates on him all
Flash.
the time.
It's like,
Um,
I love Spider-Man. Hey, Peter Parker. And it's like, just calls him names and all.
um, yeah, Mysterio isn't dead.
Um, yeah, and it's done on the Daily Bugle, which the Daily Bugle it was basically Peter Parker's old newspaper job in the comics.
Uh-huh.
But now it's like an internet. I don't know what the word would be for it, but it's basically like an internet show for internet news show, run by J. Jonah Jameson, who was the Daily Bugle's boss.
Oh, okay.
And it's played by J.K. Simmons. And J.K. Simmons played J. Jonah Jameson in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they brought him back to this.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was honestly like, because we've all been saying, like, if J. Jonah's going to be in Spider-Man, it's got to be J.K. Simmons. It's got to be. There's no one else who can play this character. Because he did so well in the original trilogy movies.
Mm-hmm.
So when that reveal happened, the whole audience cheered.
Aww. Oh, that's cool.
And then, of course, Spider-Man gets his identity revealed, and it's like, because this is the first time I think it's ever been worldwidely revealed in a movie, per se. I think the comics, of course, have had it, but this is, this has never been, like, done before in the movies.
Interesting.
So we'll see how that gets resolved, if it gets resolved.
He's one of the best parts in the other Spider-Man movies. He's such an ass.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, and Ned and what was her name? Betty, I think. Mm-hmm. They broke up.
By the end of the trip, I was like, "Come on now."
But I love how mature they are about it.
We feel like we've grown from the experience, Like I don't remember what they said, but like I was like, "Oh my god."
Men and women just have different grow apart sometimes, and but the journey is always fun.
She's like, "You're so wise, Frankie. People grow apart." No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah. Let's see.
You're still friends.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's pretty much all movie. It's pretty simple. It's another simple, small Spider-Man movie.
I have to rate it.
Yeah, what did you? Okay, you said you think you liked it better than Homecoming. So
what did I rate Homecoming? I think I gave Homecoming an 8.5.
I think you gave it like a 9 or something too, because you loved it so much.
Well, I don't remember.
Well, okay. What would you rate this one anyway?
I would give it. I feel like I would give it an 8 or 8.5. Maybe we'll go with an 8.
Yeah.
You can adjust them. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna rank everything for Sunday.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is definitely up there. These movies, like the Spider-Man movies, are more like my speed. I think that's why I like them so much.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker is still a 9. That's debatable.
Oh man.
No Anakin Skywalker and no Marvel wisdom. So
yeah, like I hope so. Captain Spike.
The Sinister Six. Ooh.
Yeah, that's the band of Spider-Man villains. That's their name, the group.
Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh. Yes. I was like, it feels so weird. It's like, this is a Star Wars channel. Now has joined the MCU, everything,
I know.
the Marvel,
and
now we're kind of like Star Wars.
I'm a bit more. Again, I still love the new trilogy. It's not that I don't. It's just I'm looking at it through a different lens now. Now that I've gone through Marvel, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at Star Wars in a different lens and seeing what could have been. I mean, if Marvel can put together 22 movies that all
Yeah.
connect. Um, and again, just pay respect to each and every character, give them the story and the development and the ending that they all deserve.
Mm.
And Rise of Skywalker, the new trilogy,
Yeah.
sequel trilogy didn't do that in
Yeah.
every way. Um, you know.
And yeah, like I said before, we had the books, we had the other expanded universe.
Yeah, well, MXC shared that quote on our Discord about Kathleen Kennedy. It said, Marvel had all the comics and all this and that to follow, and she was like, we had nothing. And I was like, but we had the books, like, and I understand not wanting to follow the books exactly, kind of like Marvel. They didn't follow it exactly, as far as I know, but like they
Yeah.
took the good points,
Mhm.
like, or they expanded on some things, or changed some things to make it different. Like,
Yeah.
they could have done that for this, and I think everyone
Mhm.
would have been happy to a degree. Maybe not everyone, but like,
More people would have been happy.
I think more. Yeah, I think more people
Satisfied.
would have been happy. Um,
Yeah.
So I don't, and like George Lucas gave his blessing on those books. Like, I don't know how it all went down, but he was like, yeah, you guys write the stories. He was aware of the story, and
they even came to him for like advice on some things, and he was like, yeah, you can do that. Like here, you can do this and this. So yeah, the expanded universe may not be what his future sequels would be, but he still had he still like gave permission and guidance to the expanded universe,
yeah.
the ODU.
And from what I've heard, when Disney took over Star Wars, like George Lucas told them, like, kind of gave his input, like
Outline.
his outline, and I think they originally agreed to it, but then
They threw it out.
Yeah, and then didn't follow through, which is like a big slap in the face.
Yeah.
It's so hard because like I try to be positive in general with things, and I want to always support and respect Star Wars and the people who are in charge of it and the people who are part of it, because I would never want to poo-poo on someone's heart and soul, like what they put their energy into.
Yeah.
However, I'm a little bit more frustrated than I was at the beginning of this Marvel journey with Star Wars, because again, I see what could have been.
Yeah. Like you saw from like the beginning all the way to this end that just satisfied everything that this journey you'd been on.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there were some movies that I liked more than others. There were some movies I didn't like at all, but going back, okay, well, I can see why they did this, I can see why they did that, and everything just connected. Like, it was, you could tell they were, they weren't like, well, maybe we'll do this in this movie. Yeah, let's do this in this movie. You know what? No, I'm going to change my mind. Let's do this instead. Who's Rey? I don't know. We'll make her this in this movie, but in the next movie, we're going to change it, and she's really going to be, a Kenobi. Now, you know what? We changed our mind. Let's make her be a Palpatine. Like, make up your minds. Extended universe means nothing to her, apparently.
Yeah.
I wish they. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wish they would touch on that, their feelings on the, extended universe. Like, I know they made a statement about how, okay, now this is officially Legends or whatever, but like, I want them to explain. I wish they would explain themselves. Okay, why didn't you include any of these ideas other than like a name? I don't know. I wish they would explain themselves a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, like, oh, that's a meme. I've got a meme for you
Oh boy.
on Sunday.
Okay. Oh, that's right. We're gonna look at some memes. That'll be fun. Oh, it's 8:00. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
Sorry guys, I went on a rant.
Understandable. We can rant some more Sunday. We'll have more ranting free time Sunday.
But okay, yeah. So we'll be back on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be ranking all the Marvel movies, like, my favorite, least favorite to most favorite. Same with the characters or the heroes or whatever.
Yeah, we'll do some tier lists stuff. Yeah. Nerdy's new tier list.
Yes, I've never made a tier list before, so this will be fun. Tell us how you really feel. So yeah, I am heading on over to Twitch in about 2 minutes. If you guys want to come on over and join me. And as always, if you haven't already, please check out the Inspector Who Reacts. Check out his channel. Has a lot of great stuff on there. And once again, Inspector, thank you for being my Jedi Master on this Marvel journey.
It's, man, that's crazy. Like, when we started, it was just like, okay, gotta make sure you, like, it was so weird. It's like, I kept thinking, can't let you be spoiled in the end game. Just gotta get you to that end game, and hopefully you don't get, like, ruined.
Yeah, thankfully nothing spoiled it. Yeah, so fortunately I don't know too many people, well, in general, but too many people who watch Marvel, so
Yeah.
And
now you're here with the rest of us, waiting for the next.
Yeah. And I'm debating watching the Hulk before Sunday. And that this way I can include it.
Oh, okay.
On the list. I'm debating. I haven't decided. I guess it all depends if I have time.
Yeah. If not, you can just put in, like, haven't watched yet tier.
Yeah. one tier. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, for hanging out with us, chatting with us. Really appreciate it. Appreciate your thoughts and everything. Yeah. And like I said, we will be back on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, chatting more. And I am heading on over to Twitch if you guys want to come hang out and join us. So, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great rest of the night.
Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, everyone.